Alright, so it's spring and we're here prepping our beds for this year. We stirrup hoed the entire row, and now we are going through, after clearing off all of our hay that we used to cover up the soil last year. Could use a active growing cover crop, but it requires a little bit more finesse in killing it off and getting it ready for spring. So here we are after doing the stirrup hoe and pulling off the hay. We're just broad forking it. It would be nicer if we had a broader fork than 4 tines, but this is what we got, so we're using what we got. We just loosen up the soil just a little bit so that it's ready for the seeds this spring. It's really just a matter of lifting it until you see the cracks in the soil and stopping. You really don't need to overturn the soil or anything like that, because it's just a matter of getting a little bit of oxygen down into that soil so that all the things under there can survive, get some oxygen, and yeah, it makes it that much healthier for next year when we're planting into it. So we're really just lifting the soil just a little bit so some oxygen gets in there. Keep in mind, you don't want to do this if it's going to be very dry or very hot before you do it. If you do that right before, you really want to plant immediately, and maybe even cover it back up with some hay, because open beds is not what you want in your farm. You want to minimize that as much as possible. If you can keep it to a week or 2 weeks of any soil on your farm being bare, that would be ideal. It's what we're shooting for, but we'll get better as we go. So we're just going to continue lifting the soil here and getting it ready to plant, and next week we'll be planting directly into it. We are getting ready for spring. We've already planted some seeds into our other beds, and we have more bed cleanup to do. We could do this by hand and use our stirrup hose and other things, but this one's gotten a little bit above us, and it would be ideal to use the tiller. So we're going to use the tiller. We're going to try and keep it just around 3 inches at the most deep, and we're going to reset this bed so that it's ready for seeds this spring. We also have another bed down there that we're adding on to the end of our farm, so we'll be using the tiller for that, just to reset everything and get it going in the right direction. It's not good to till all the time, because you're destroying all of your microbiomes down in the soil, your fungal networks, and your earthworms. So the more you can leave everything intact, the better. But you have to be realistic, and you have to look at what's available and what's going on in your life. If you're very busy, you might need to till. Once you till, you might just need to focus on keeping it cultivated and weed-free, and within a season or 2, you'll have a lot less pressure on you from all those weeds. So we're starting up our second season here. We're using the tiller as a little bit of a booster to get started faster and cleaner, and then during the season we will make sure that the weeds don't grow too prolifically and that they don't produce seed. From there on, it's not too bad. You just got to make sure that you maintain everything and keep the ground somewhat clean. We'll talk to you guys next time.